Hello.
Hi again. Long
Déjà
time no
vu.
see. Highlander, come. So I saw that Laura intends to join. Let's see if she manages to join this meeting now. No? Okay. Yeah. She'll do it from my laptop, from a private laptop. Okay. Let's just wait some more seconds before we get started. Please sign up on the document. Hi Adam, welcome.
Hi, sorry for being late.
No problem. We haven't really get started yet, so. Yeah, I guess we go on now. Laura might join later, we'll see. So welcome to this SIG meeting today. I prepared an agenda. Doesn't contain too much, even though there is some text. So we can just go through it from the top. So I don't think we had any action items from last meeting. Let me just quickly look it up. No, nothing there. So let's skip that. Updates from other CDF groups. First off, the Technical Oversight Committee just got a new chair, Andrea, who is on this meeting as well. Great to see you there, Andrea,
Hey.
and good luck.
Thank you.
It would be great. I'm not sure how that would affect your involvement in this SIG. I hope not too much, but I assume it might affect it a bit. I know, do you have any thoughts of your own on that topic so far?
Yeah, I hope it won't affect my involvement in the project or the SIG.
That's great. Yeah, because I think you provide very valuable feedback or input to the CD Events project itself, so it would be a pity missing you there. Okay. Then the TOC has its bi-weekly meeting. The next one is tomorrow afternoon, Swedish time. If you are interested to join, anyone is able to join there, even though there are some voting members of the TOC. But anyone is free to join. So from the CD Events workgroup, many of you on this meeting was already on the meeting we had this a few hours ago, where we discussed test events and incident events. So we shouldn't probably revisit that unless we have a lot of time in the end of this meeting. Then of course we could go back to that topic if we see the need for it, since we are some of us are here anyway. Anything else from any other SIG or other work stream that we should bring up? I haven't looked at the notes from best practices SIG, for example. I looked at the software supply chain SIG. I couldn't attend that meeting last week, but I know that they discussed software supply chain in relation to CD events or vice versa. I was hoping to get someone from that group into this meeting, because I don't believe any one of you here were there, right? Here is Laura coming in. Let's see if we can connect with audio as well. Hi Laura, welcome.
Thank you.
Finally you made it.
Well, I wasn't able to join with my computer, my work computer. So I'm right now from my home computer. So we'll see how it goes.
Okay. Are you able to see sharing and such, or is it just sound? Or
yeah. No,
okay.
Now I can see everything.
Yeah,
thank
perfect,
you.
Perfect. So we just started a few minutes ago, and I mentioned there that you in the software supply chain SIG last week discussed a bit on CD events in relation to software supply chain. So I was hoping we could have some discussion on that today. We'll see if we have enough input in the group to be able to have that discussion. But apart from that, I don't have any other input from other SIGs or anything at the moment. Does anyone else have anything to share there? No? Then the presentation topic is empty for today. We don't have any planned presentations, so we'll skip that one directly. Conferences, I know that you're all aware of the CDCon, that there is a CFP ending tomorrow. So just a shout out to provide your contributions there if you have anything you would like to present. And then we are actually on the software supply chain topic. So I'm not sure. I added some few links here to the agenda. There is a work ongoing I saw on supply chain in the supply chain maturity work stream, where let me see if I had that here. Yeah, no, there is a Google document as well being worked on, defining what supply chain maturity really is, and how to make it possible to measure the measurements for supply chain maturity. I'm not sure, Laura, do you have anything you could share there, or do you have anything you know is valuable to bring to this group, or should we bring in someone else from that group in a later meeting to discuss?
I would suggest, because I was like a little bit out of the SIG for a few months. So I'm
Yeah.
not really in the loop right now. So maybe like give me like 2 weeks to just to resync, to see
Sure.
what's going on and to understand the topic of to understand better what was the topic about connecting the CD events, the events with the supply chain, and then I
Mhm.
can bring it up in this meeting in the later
Yeah.
stage. Would that work?
Of course, will be perfect.
Okay.
We have an
Okay.
issue as well in our own GitHub repository where we intend to provide some secure software supply chain aspects to our CD events. So I believe that this one would be could be used for that effort when we get there to actually do something.
Would you be able to tag me so I can just get an email or something about it and I will take a look?
I can start by putting the issue in the chat at least.
Here it is. Okay.
Yeah. So it's
I'll-
also
I'll-
in the minutes there in the
Yes.
HackMD document,
Yes.
but at least there you can follow it yourself if you like.
Yes.
I know, Andrea, you wrote this and we have discussed it very briefly, and we hoped to have something along these lines in the 0.2 release of CD events, which is due quite soon. Do you think that there is anything there that we should or could bring in?
Yeah, so this is the very high level issue in general.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, we want to do something about secure software supply chain. I think what we discussed for 0.2 of CD events is the signed predicate for the artifact event, which should hopefully be a relatively minor change. So I think it's still something that we can aim for the next release.
Mm.
Not sure if that answered your question, Emil, sorry.
Yeah, it does to some extent. And then, Leora, I think if you would go back to the supply chain group and just show them this ticket, and maybe if there is some progress on the pull request for this, just to see that we are on the right track and don't add things with I don't know, wrong terms or wrong semantics or something.
Sure.
So we are aligned as much as suitable.
Okay. Thank you.
Would be great. Yeah, thanks. So then I don't really see that we could say too much more about supply chain topic, unless anyone else here in the group has some valuable input. I don't know, Ole, since you're new to this group as well, do you have any ideas on supply chain aspects of the CD events?
No, thanks. To be honest, I don't know. I need to read up on the whole supply chain concept and
Yeah, okay.
before being able to contribute anything valuable there. So that's on me for until the next meeting.
That's perfectly fine. Okay, so then I guess we want to leave that topic here and there then. Then I just wanted to have a refresh on the CD events.dev topic. I'm not sure if Terry has done something recently there. I'm not sure, Andrea, if you've seen it, but I didn't see much lately. I'm not sure if that work is done. What is your thought on those?
Yeah, I think at least what we had in scope for the initial project was done, but yeah, I mean there will be a bit more work required in future, possibly. I guess next time we cut a release, we need to try the process and see that works. And
Right.
yeah.
So for your information there, rest of you, we have now a releases drop down on the CD events.dev where we can select old releases. And we just get to the branch of the old release in the spec report from that one.
Yeah.
And the latest is then obvious, the main branch of the spec repo, where we have it's rendered into this site. And we have the links here to the spec. So if you go to the either this link from the releases there, or you go to the documentation directly, you will get to this joint page of some introductory documents, and then the specification of the events themselves, which actually then link to the GitHub. Sorry, let me see here. Yeah, they are linked to the GitHub spec repository. So that's how it works nowadays on the cdevents.dev. And the front page, if you haven't seen it before, the front page is rewritten with a lot more information on it, for being more easy to follow and grasp the whole idea of CD events. Okay, so then we might not expect any more input then from Terry on this subject. I was a bit uncertain there if he was still intending to do something more. And that's actually the end of the agenda. So then it's free. The space is free for anyone to bring up anything. I know on the lunch meeting we had today or earlier today, we were hoping to get some input from Jolander or Adam on the Spinnaker integration. Would you be able to share something about how it progresses there?
Yeah, Mel. So I think the last time when we discussed, I've showed how the design is look like, and even so I have shared with a couple of teams with Spinnaker, and they have a couple of comments there. So and suggestion is like to have a one-on-one audio chat there with Spinnaker members. I think one will be scheduled soon. We are checking with them in the PR. I think Andrea also commented there, like to have the discussion open with Spinnaker members. So I think we'll be waiting for them to discuss more on the design part of it.
Yeah. So if I understood correctly, Ben should call for that meeting, right? Ben in the Spinnaker community, who is also on these calls sometimes.
Yeah.
Or someone there. Yeah. Okay, so we await that thing then. And then I think we also looked for the Java SDK updates. I think you're, Adam, on top of that, aren't you? Is there anything to
I
share
am,
there?
yeah. I think I'm almost done with that.
Do you have any plan for the release of it? Is it soon to be out there?
I have a current pull request that just needs to be updated with the final kind of group of events and some format changes.
So the plan, Adam, is to basically manage the whole migration in one PR, so that after that PR it will be aligned to 0.1. Is that?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
So that was quickly through the agenda, and anything I could think of bringing up today. So what else is on your minds? Is there anything we should bring up, or should this be a very short meeting, you think?
I don't have any specific idea about this right now, but I think maybe we can try for the next meeting to start working on a pipeline of possible presentations that we could try and get for these meetings. So if anyone has ideas aware for groups, organizations that would be interesting to see in this meeting, maybe yeah. let us know. And we can try and schedule a presentation.
So that's yeah, very good comment there, Andrea. Just to get things going, we should of course get input from as many potential users of CD events as possible. Both contributors and users, of course. So good idea there. We have had some presentations some time ago from, for example, Argo events, which was, I think it was a year ago, more or less, which we should maybe revisit, because not much has happened in that area since then, I believe. We could bring in people from Flux maybe, and others as well. So yeah, why not? What about Tecton, Andrea? Tecton triggers or Tecton? Is it Tecton triggers or Tecton events? Tecton triggers, right? Is that something that is valuable to describe here, you think?
Yeah, I mean, we could. I mean, Tecton triggers is the component that accept incoming events on Tecton side.
Mhm.
And then we have the Tecton main controller and also an experimental controller that generates the events. And the main controller is able to generate Tecton own event, and the experimental controller, which VPAF and myself have worked on, can also send CD events, even though it has not been updated to the latest release yet.
Right.
So yeah, I guess we never had a presentation on Tecton triggers here, did we?
No, I don't think we have had that. Even though I know you're very much aligned here, Andrea, so I'm not afraid that we are going in every direction which is not compatible with Tecton triggers. But anyway, it would be maybe good to have some input there.
Yeah, sure. I can reach out to the Tecton triggers team and see if someone is interested in introducing triggers. And we could possibly do a combined presentation about triggers and the events that we sent today. So yeah, that's good.
Ole, how is it with the Cube Shop? Is that something that would be interesting, you think, to share some presentation about what you do there and
Sure.
what you intend, how you intend to use events, and how your use cases look like for yourself and your users?
Sure, happy to. I mean, I can talk about KubeShop at the high level about the different projects, maybe in this context more specifically about TestCube and how we, intend to implement the CD events related to testing. So happy to definitely talk about that.
That would be great. We can discuss maybe later what time slot you would like to use for that when it's suitable for you to have such a presentation. Yeah, great. Anything else? Any other proposals on presentations? Regarding software supply chain, I believe we had Michael Lieberman, was it? From did he talk about Salsa, was it? Or did he talk about, I think it was Salsa, right? So we've had that. I'm not sure if there's anything else there, but that's also maybe for you, Lola, to keep in mind if there is anything you think would be valuable from people working on different supply chain security or software supply chain projects. If you see that there's someone that should come and present their event usage to us.
Sure.
Yeah.
Thank you. I will do.
Thanks. So do you have any more proposals there? I can try to reach out to Argo and Flux people, maybe, if I find some.
Should we be should we be or have you guys like been in the Argo community meetings or like and evangelizing the CD Events project to them on what it could mean, or like an outreach thing, or is that a separate working group committee thing? Sorry.
No, that could be done, I guess. I haven't, and I don't know of anyone else who has either. We have had someone from Argo in our SIG meeting once or twice, maybe. But we haven't really been on their user group meetings anywhere. Are you in contact in any other with any of those only, or?
I am with the Argo and Flux because some of the other Cube Shop projects are integrating or contributing to them. So
Okay.
and they're always, I mean, they're always, you know, happy to welcome, you know, in presentations like this from other related projects. I don't know if there's something specifically for Argo events or I guess if we were going to present at some of their community meetings, there would have to be some kind of you know, overlap or context or shared domain or whatever, where we could advocate for them looking into supporting something with CD events. So maybe there's some research to be done ahead, so it's not just a, you know, shooting in the dark. But
yeah, when it comes to both, I guess, Argo events and also detect and triggers and yeah, those more general or generic workflow orchestrators or pipeline orchestrators, I guess it's not a really big thing to discuss what we call things in different parts of CD events. I mean, it's more, is it valuable to have like the cloud event support for those tools? And then of course they could as well then use CD events on top of that. Because those workflow engines are so generic. So it's maybe more, well, that's one interesting aspect of CD events for sure. But maybe the other aspect is more on what we should do with, for example, the supply chain projects there. If we need to add some more aspects of the vocabulary of CD events. So there are like two different paths there. But let's see, and let's use our contacts, whichever we have.
yeah, I can have a look at. I don't know if I'm approaching this from the right angle, but I'll have a look and I'll reach out to you guys and share what I find, and we'll see if we can do anything with that.
Great, that's perfect. So unless you have any more proposals or thoughts on the presentations there, it just came to my mind as well that we should maybe start looking into Google Summer of Code activities. I know that, was it last summer that there was a Google Summer of Code activity to implement CD events for Jenkins? Or was that the summer before? Maybe it was even the summer before, 2021.
I think it was possibly the summer before, when it was cloud events, not CD events specifically. But yeah.
I think we had a presentation from whoever that was in the Jenkins community that came to CD Events SIG afterwards, or SIG Events, to present their work, and we discussed briefly on, it was cloud events, so how to really adapt CD events for that. I also know that I listened to this Textron TV show that is the CD pipeline, where Jenkins was presented. And it was actually mentioned there that they would like to see a stronger integration between Jenkins and CD events communities. And they look forward to implement CD events in Jenkins whenever CD events is ready for implementation in tools like Jenkins. So I believe we have an opportunity there to get that happening.
Yeah, I mean, I know Fidelity specifically is very interested in that integration, in having CD events from Jenkins. I need to check with them what their plans are. I mean, it might be the case if we talking about Google Summer of Code, maybe it could be an opportunity for someone from their team, maybe to mentor the GSOC or co-mentor together with some of us.
Yeah. So how should we go about if we have ideas on Google Summer Code? It's a little bit like the hackathon, but this October, what's it called? It's called Hacktoberfest. But this is maybe a bit more project heavy, or what should you call it? I mean, we should more define, I think, a proper task for someone to take on. Maybe a bigger task than the Hacktoberfest issues we created.
Yeah, I believe for the Google Summer of Code, you need to have a project description and you need to have a mentor who will dedicate a minimum amount of time to the project.
Is it, by the way,
know,
already announced for 2023, or is it open for contributions?
As far as I know, it is, yes. But I need to check. I wanted to check if there is anything. I mean, I know Jenkins usually participates to Google Summer of Code, and so, I mean, we could participate, of course. We need to have someone available to, write down the project and mentor. I believe there is some support we can get from the CDF in terms of advertising, maybe platform for writing blogs and updates on the project and so forth. But I need to check on exactly what it means to do this through the CDF.
So I'm trying to see there on their site if there is still openings for new projects, but I can't really find it.
Well, at least the program was announced end of last year, but it might be that I don't know if it's already.
Yeah, maybe that's more, well, it's a general term, the topic, I guess, for the CDF, maybe in the TOC, but as well, we need to know if we should provide some projects from CD events as well. I think it's not there yet. Okay, let's read up on it separately and see. And of course, as you say, we need to mentor it, and then that means that we will need to be available during summertime, I guess. Yeah, let us all look into that if we have some bandwidth to share that and some ideas on what to bring up. Okay, I can maybe just have the link here as well. Okay, yeah, we don't need to drag this meeting in time anymore unless you have any more interesting things to bring up.
Nothing from me today.
Yeah, okay. So then I guess we can close the meeting today. Thank you for joining, and talk to you next time. See you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye.